Okay, so let's listen to it.
Vor a schreckliche Mageife geht von Land zu Land, mit der Schnellkeit von a Streife, von a Feuerbrand.
Machtlos ist der Menschen Sinnen, es bleibt die Chochme still. Es ist kein Mittel zu gewinnen, gegen a Bazil.
Mikroben, Bazillen, was willt ihr? Sagt wem es Scheliches, der fehlt ihr. Ihr fresst die Korbones, Gorona Rachmones, in bliende Leben, nur zielt ihr.
Ihr bohrt sich in Tränen von Weinen. Ihr zieht euch dem Mark von die Beine. Ihr samt die Gederim, ihr kriechende Werim, Mikroben, Bazillen, was willt ihr?
Die Lungen tief vergraben, heim die Blase fest. Die Bazillen, die Mikroben, heuen sehr nest. Fressen unser Leib und Leib, fruchtbaren sich weg. Und wir müssen selbst verschweben, vor der Zeit weg.
Und wir fühlen, wie wir gehen, still und langsam aus. Und die Schmerzen und die Wehen sind schrecklich groß. Und die finstere Machschoves größer in dem Schmerz. Doren liegt der Malcham-Bodes tief bei uns im Haus. Mikroben, Bazillen,
was willt ihr? Sagt wem es Scheliches, der fehlt ihr.
Ihr fresst die Korbones, Gorona Rachmones, in liehende Leben, nur zielt ihr. Ihr bohrt sich in Tränen von Weinen. Ihr zieht euch den Mark von die Beine. Ihr samt die Gederim, ihr kriechende Werim, Mikroben, Bazillen, was willt ihr? Sind da Vampiren zu leben kurz. Unser Pratze sei Rabieren, trinken unser Blut.
Und verschlafen in die Sonne, und beugen vor. Eure niedliche Lumpen, euch halt kein Sach.
Trippelte und heute Frauen da und dort. Neue Lebensangegräte, viel neueste Mord. Und in Größe tiefe Chor im Atmenleiches viel. Und die Herrscher, die gesorgen, spielen Schachmattspiel. Mikroben, Bazillen, was willt ihr?
Sagt wem es Scheliches, der fehlt ihr.
Ihr fresst die Korbones, Gorona Rachmones, in blinde Leben, nur zielt ihr. Ihr bohrt sich in Tränen von Weinen. Ihr zieht euch den Mark von die Beine. Ihr samt die Gederim, ihr kriechende Werim, Mikroben, Bazillen, was willt ihr? Mikroben, Bazillen, was willt ihr? Sagt wem es Scheliches, der fehlt ihr. Ihr fresst die Korbones, Gorona Rachmones, in liehende Leben, nur zielt ihr.
Oh,
Hoi.
oh, right.
Hoi vey, yes. Okay. Marif, can you start the English, please?
Okay. Another song by Shlomi Shmulevitz. Much, much bleaker than a Brevele der Mamen. This one railing and cursing against the influenza epidemic. Menschenfresser, devourer of human beings. Sung by Sveta Kundish and Daniel Kahn.
Okay. What causes a person to write a song like this? Really
An
something.
influenza, like the influenza that killed millions and millions.
Have you
Yeah.
seen all the other stuff Daniel Kahn has done? It's very satirical. The stuff that
Yeah.
is not well known, but it's on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
it's like a sort of German cabaret-ish kind of satire.
We met him in Kles, Canada. He was a kid. He learned Yiddish. He's from Detroit.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this style of doing this kind of song that Maurice
Right. He didn't even know Yiddish. He's
has
a very,
a very straight face, but behind it is a very satirical mind.
There's I don't know
he's
if it's
very
the same.
talented.
I don't know if it's the same Daniel Kahn, but I've
I think
seen
so.
a
It is.
I've seen
I've
a
seen it.
Yiddish version of "This Land Is Your Land"
Yeah.
by Daniel Kahn.
we
I don't know
Okay.
if it's the same
Is
one.
he the one that
Serious
sings?
stuff too, but some of his stuff is really off the wall. If you
Yes. I know.
Doesn't he sing Hallelujah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he sings
Yeah.
it. You're right, he sings it.
Okay. Julian, start reading and Maurice will help you translate, okay?
Sure.
Listen, I'm still having trouble getting
Okay,
stuff.
so no problem. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we will leave it to another time. Barbara, can you read?
Okay, door een schreckliche Mageva geht von Land zu Land mit der Schnelligkeit von a Srefa, von a firebrand. Certainly a terrible plague goes from land to land with rapidity, like a conflagration, a fire of like a firebrand, like we
Right.
say in English.
And the word "gore" does mean certainly. Here it means a really horrendous, a really terrible epidemic. It's for emphasis.
Okay, go on, Barbara.
I'll try.
Yeah, just
What
what's
does
going on?
Shrefa mean?
Shrefa.
Conflagration,
fire.
a huge
Fire.
fire.
Okay, Barbara, go on.
Machtlos is dem Menschens Sinnen bleibt die Hochme still. Es ist kein mit zu gewinnen gegen Ziel. I need help with this. So, Maurice, would you please
Sure.
translate?
So machtlos is powerless.
Yeah.
The human mind mentions in it, the human mind is powerless, and it leaves the human intelligence,
Yeah.
still there's no response. Human intelligence can't respond to this terrible.
And what is
epidemic.
Chachma again?
Chochmah is intelligence.
Yeah. Okay. The first line I don't understand.
Okay.
Ach,
Okay, can I go? Can I move?
No,
No, there are a couple more lines that Maurice needs to.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
Maurice.
Kein Mittel.
sure. Es ist kein Mittel zu gewinnen. So there are no means to find. They can't find a means against the bacillus.
Okay.
Sure.
A bacillus. Okay. That's
Bacillin.
Bacillus is
Bacillus.
bacillus.
the
Actually,
germ.
the
The germ. Yeah.
influenza was a flu, but
Oh,
anyway.
Thank you, Maurice.
Alvin, can you go on?
The carbon Bacillen was wild hier. microbes, bacteria. What do you want? Zocht, zocht Venice,
Liches.
schlichend,
Liches. Yeah.
schlichend, the field here. So microbes, bacteria. What do you want? Says I have this sentence is a problem for me.
Sure. So he's addressing the microbes that are doing this to us. He's saying, Zogt, tell us, whose mission are you fulfilling? In other words, as if it was some kind of an intelligence that was attacking human beings on a mission from somebody.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, first he called the korbanot, the korbanos, I guess. Gar on Rachmanis in Blinde Leben no Zilt here. You feast on the sacrifices without any mercy.
Right. The bull is completely without mercy. Right.
And blindly, I don't get the sentence.
No,
Okay,
it's a
so
difficult
this
sentence.
is it's a poetic inversion, and so it's sealed. It's really backwards. It's sealed. No, you only target lives that are in bloom, blinde.
Ah, okay.
You only target, in other words, people in their prime of their life. Of course, you know, the influenza epidemic didn't know any age boundaries, but it's you target only lives in bloom.
Okay, I see that people raise their hand. Susan?
Oh, okay, I'm going back to the word sreifa, which is the Hebrew word for fire. And the thing is that fires were one of the worst problems of the shtetl, because they were made of wood and people were scared to death. And I learned this somewhere, I don't remember the specifics, but when there was a fire, you were not supposed to run around and yell, fire, fire, because people would just be scared and wouldn't do anything. Instead, you were supposed to say, sreifa, sreifa. They particularly use the Hebrew word so people would think and then react and not get scared to death.
I will use that word next time there's a fire.
Yes, no, don't.
And call the Sreifa department.
The word for fire is fire.
There is the word fire. Normal, right. But for Sreifa is like a fire that it burns down a house, a town. It's really a raging
fire.
Yes.
Vinkl?
Literally, like just bad, or
what
does Treifa mean literally?
Sreifa?
Sreifa?
Sreifa. It's Hebrew.
It's Hebrew. It's fire. I don't know.
Oh, it is also fire, but in Hebrew.
Yes, it's in Hebrew. Yeah.
Every word to be scared of. Got it.
Okay. Vinkl?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the word Sreifa is even more terrifying than fire. It's like a terrible fire.
Yes, like
but also the word
like
Sreifa, there's the seraphim. The seraphim, which is also a Hebrew word with the same root, are the angels, the fiery angels.
Yes.
And then there's the word vemis shlichus, der filter, which is like whose mission or whose assignment are you going to fulfill? It's really powerful to me to be speaking to the microbes.
Yes.
But shlichus are what angels have. Each angel has a particular assignment. Like a shliach tzibur is the one who is the messenger.
Well, I don't think there are any angels involved in the
Well, no, because there's going to be the angel of death later.
May have been
addressing
demons
the
or
angel
devils.
of death. So I think this is all a foreshadowing of the idea of it being divinely sent. It's actually it's a satire.
Well, I don't know. I think
like we were saying all about.
I mean, I took it as a heartfelt reaction to people dying in the street.
Yeah, well, I think it is heartfelt, but some of us respond with
Well, I didn't take it that way.
and when our heart.
Okay, let's
Okay,
continue.
well, anyway, I think that these words. Mhm.
Let's continue. Beverly, can you go on? Beverly, you're here? You're muted, Beverly.
Sorry. Ear is this it? Ear what's that word? Butt?
But, yeah,
What's that mean?
to bathe, boden,
Ihr butt sich in
wash
Tränen
yourself.
von Weiner. I'm not sure. What did you say that word meant?
Bathe yourselves in tears from crying.
Right.
He's talking about the microbes. People
Right.
are pouring out their
I see.
guts and they're just bathing themselves in the tears.
Oh, butt, like taking a bath?
Boden, right, taking a
Oh,
bath.
I didn't.
Or as we used to say in Galicia, Boden.
Yeah, of course, Budden I know.
Well, there you
But I
go.
didn't know butts.
Guys, stick with
Okay,
me.
so you bathe yourself with tears and crying. Ihr
From the
sieht-
tears from the crying. Von weinen.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
People crying. Right.
From crying.
Right.
Ihr zieht euch den Mark von
Mark.
Narrow.
What?
Narrow.
You're pulling out the marrow from your bones.
Right.
Ihr sammelt die Gedieren. That word I used to hear when I was a kid, but
Yeah, gederen. Mina helped me with this word.
yeah.
It means intestines. You poison the intestines.
Yeah, the Gede. I remember that word, but
Gederen, right.
you're what's samet? That's Hebrew too.
Poison.
No, poison.
Velvet.
Poison.
You
Poison
my innards,
our
Velvet.
intestines.
my intestines. Ihr kriechende Wärm. You're crawling worms, right?
Right. Yeah.
My microbes. Bacillin, I don't remember what.
Bacilli. Yeah.
Bacillus. Was wilt ihr? What do you want?
Right.
So you will continue, but I see Elaine raised the hand.
Tough one.
Elaine?
Yeah, I was the word bod. When
Bod.
I looked bod, I knew
Yeah.
it was bathe, but I looked it up just to be sure. And one of the alternative is you revel in. You know, I think about it, if you're bathing yourself in, you're just,
Sure.
you know,
Right.
and then they gave revel.
Sure. Well, they're having a great time, you know.
Right.
Okay.
I say to my little ones, buddy for a bath.
Yes, Boden. Right.
So it comes from
Bodensich
this.
And a
comes
board house, you know, Bordstube, a bathhouse.
My
Indeed.
mother used to say buddy. I heard them on board.
Right.
Okay,
but
Beverly, go on.
in die Lungen tief begrubben. In your lungs, it's deeply, how would you say begrubben?
Buried.
Buried.
Buried in your lungs.
yeah.
Point.
Voint die blasse pest. Oh God, I don't know what that lives, what lives?
Hell.
Voint die blasse pest. Pest is a plague, pestilence. And blasse is pale. So
Right.
he's imagining that they're living in your lungs and they're pale creatures.
Oh, pale creatures. Die
Right.
bacillin, the bacillus, die microben, the microbes. Boyen their nest. They build their nest.
Right. They're building their nests deep in
Right.
your lungs.
This is tough, but it's very
Yeah,
COVID appropriate.
It is tough.
It's
Okay.
very COVID appropriate.
It is. Okay, Feigl, please. Go on.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking right now again at that word bacillin. And, you know, it means bacillus, but it also has the word for aim in it. Bacillin, like seal, what's your aim or your purpose? I think maybe
Yeah,
it's a
but not
pun.
here.
It's a coincidence. Bacillus
Yeah,
is the
not-
Latin
not-
But
word.
it is a poem. This is a poem, but okay. Fruchtperen, is that where we are?
Fressen,
Yeah.
fressen.
Fressen.
Oh, fressen.
Fressen.
Eating.
Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong section.
You are one line down.
Okay. Fressen unsere
Yes.
Leib und Leben. Devouring our flesh and our life, our bodies and our life. Fruchtperen sich Backpack. Und wir müssen selbst verschweben, vor der Zeit weg. Well, we are, okay, so we bear fruit, like we procreate, or
No,
they
fructum
procreate in
means
packs. They
to
procreate by the
multiply,
bale, by
to
the
be
bundle.
fruitful.
Mhm.
But it's them, it's the bacillus that are being fruitful.
Yes, they're
The
multiplying in our
bacillus are
bodies.
procreating by the bundle, while we ourselves are disappearing before our time. We're going away for Schweben. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that means, but we're
Yeah,
floating away.
verschweben means to float away, to disappear.
Und
It's
wir
a German
fühlen
word.
wie wir gehen, still und langsam aus. We feel ourselves going away quietly and slowly. Und die Schmerzen und die Wehen and the pain and the suffering sind schrecklich groß, are terribly huge, terribly big. Und die finstere Machshavas größeren dem Schmerz, and the dark thoughts are being magnified. The pain of the dark thoughts are magnifying. No, the dark thoughts are magnifying the torment.
Pain, right.
Joren liegt der Malachamavis tief bei uns in Hearts. For years, the angel of death, the messenger of death, is deep in our heart.
Right.
Mikroben. Should I go on?
Go on. Yeah.
Okay, Mikroben, Bacillen, was wilt ihr? Microbes and bacteria, what do you want? And it's a very polite plural form, ear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Zogt vemes schlichas der filter. Tell us, whose mission are you fulfilling? But what's the difference between vemis and vemens? Is it the same?
It's a
vemis
form. I'm not sure. Well, vemis is whose. Vemen could be just who. Just who. Yeah.
Fresti corbonus gor on rachmanus. You are devouring the sacrifices. And again, that's like a divine thing. The corbonus are
but
commanded by God.
It can also just mean victims.
It can just mean victims.
Doesn't necessarily involve.
You devour your victims with absolutely no compassion. In blühende Leben nor zilt hier. And flowering, the blooming life, you only aim at the blooming of our lives.
Right.
But,
okay, thank you.
Bacillus, there's that word silt here, bacillus, silt here.
Okay, thank you, Vinkl. I see that Elaine raised her hand. Elaine.
Can we go back to a definition of the sentence, Jorn liegt der Malachamavis? I know all the words. I know what all the words mean, but I don't get the sense of the sentence.
Right.
It's been lurking there for years.
Right. In other words,
lying in
people didn't know that these creatures were here.
Okay.
So it's the angel of death has been deep in our hearts, but we didn't even know it.
Thank you.
Okay, so Elaine, please go on.
Oh, okay.
Ihr bodet sich.
Oh, ihr bod sich in Tränen von Weiner. You revel or you bathe in the tears of those who are crying. Ihr zit aus dem Mach von die Beiner. You suck out the marrow from the bones. Ihr samt die Gedärme. You poison the intestines. Ihr kriechende Wärme. You creeping worms. Mikroben, Bacillen, was wilt ihr? Microbes and bacteria. What do you want?
Good.
Go on.
Dreusen sind da Vampiren. Outside there are vampires. Zu leben gut. In order to live good. I'm not. Who's living good? The vampires?
Vampires.
Yeah,
They're having a great time.
Which word is vampires?
Vampiren.
Vampiren. I see. I got it.
Unser Pratze sei Rabieren trinken unser Blut. They're robbing our labor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they drink our blood.
Right.
Yeah,
To live well.
go on. Yeah, go on.
More. Und verschleppen in die Sumpen unser Eug in cup. And they drag us away to the swamps.
Yeah.
And again, our eye in our heads. I'm not.
Yeah, Eugen Cup. It really means our lives, your eye in your head. I mean.
Okay, all right. So they
Yeah.
drag us away our lives. Oi, ihr niederige Lumpen, you low down scoundrels, you low down, Lumpen. I don't know, Lumpen
Yeah.
is, gross thing.
Low life.
Low life, yeah. I halt kein Sach op. You stop at nothing.
Right.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Karen, can you continue, Karen? It's not an easy song.
Oh, that's the understatement.
Yeah. Karen,
I thought I knew
please.
Yiddish. I don't know a word.
I'm sorry, I'm not prepared for this, but I'll give it a try.
Okay, if you just Maurice will help you.
Sure.
Okay?
And se krippelt und teute and crippled and dead, fallen do und dort, fallen here and there, neue Lebens angegräter, new lives, something
Prepared, right.
Feeling aus dem Ort, feeling the place.
They're taking their place.
Taking the place.
Go on, please.
Und in große Tiefe Kverim, and in large deep graves, packt men Leiches viel. I don't know that.
They're packing the graves full with corpses.
Und die Herrscher, die Kesorim and leaders.
Leaders, right.
The Kesorim,
the emperors, the rulers.
Spielen Schachmat Spiel, play, I don't
Chess. Schachmat is chess.
Schachmat is chess.
Yes.
In other words, the upper crust, I mean, of course they were affected too, but clearly he thinks they don't give a damn because they're playing chess,
Okay, thank you, Karen. Elaine, yes?
Pressing.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Elaine, yes, you.
Oh, okay. So can you translate packt min Leiches viel? I know you told us the overall meaning, but one packs, what's Leiches? Full of
corpses.
Oh, Leiches is corpses.
They're packing, there are so many dead that they're being packed into the graves.
Okay, and the other, the playing chess, I got Spielen Schachmat, but why is there another Spiel? Is chess Schachmat Spiel?
Schachmat by itself is chess, but I guess this means the game of chess.
Oh, okay.
It's really not necessary, but Schachmat is checkmate.
Yeah.
That's how you say chess.
Rhymes
Okay.
with feel.
Spiel, right? Yes, rhymes with feel. So
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Morty, yes, you raise your hand.
So I just was wondering about the word "laiches" because I couldn't find it in the dictionary.
I couldn't either.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
either.
Well, the thing is, I find the word "laiche" and then it forwards you to "laichets," and the translation for that is phlegm.
Yes, exactly. That's what I found.
Sorry,
Yeah.
can I say something?
Yes, Michael.
Leiche in German is a corpse.
Mm-hmm.
So he's using a German word there.
Right. In this context, he's talking about this. The graves are just overflowing.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Leah, you're with us? Leah? Leah? Let me see if she's here. She's on the phone. Okay, so we will leave her on the phone. Rochelle, can you continue?
Mikroben bacillen was wilt er microbes.
לא הרגשת את זה.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I muted her.
Okay.
Okay,
go on.
Microbes, bacteria, what do you want? Zogt, wem is shalichis der vierter? Tell us whose mission you are carrying out. Ihr fresst die Carbonis gor on arachmonis. You're eating the cadavers without any pity.
Mercy.
Mercy, thank you. In bliende Leben nur zielt ihr. And in your bliende?
It's bleeing. Bleeing
Oh,
is to
bliende.
bloom.
Bliende Leben nur
Like a flower.
and you're only getting the young ones, the ones who are blooming. Ihr bot sich in Tränen von Weiner. You bathe in the tears of the criers. Ihr sitzt euch ihr zieht euch dem Mach von Beiner. You draw the marrow out of the bones. Ihr samt die Gedirem. You poison the intestines. Ihr kriechende Verem. You crawling worms. Mikroben, bacillen, was wilt ihr? You microbes. What do you want?
Right. Good.
And I think that's again the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's again. So let's listen to it once again. And yeah, Barbara wrote in the chat, and I agree with her. Barbara, can you say what you? I agree with you 100%.
I think a number of people did. I wrote, can you imagine people buying sheet music for this? Gathered around the piano for a sing-along and included this in their repertoire.
Pretty gruesome.
It's pretty dark.
But really interesting, and we learned a lot of new words from this.
Oh yes, that's for sure. But it's
Maurice, are you going to repeat this one?
What's interesting to me is that this was then and then COVID was now. And it could apply as easily to COVID.
Sure.
God knows what else is coming.
Any number of epidemics.
Yeah.
Except it doesn't only target the young people and the blooming of their life.
No,
old people are also very vulnerable to it.
It's actually just the opposite. COVID was just the opposite. Because the argument was for the people who felt that the economy should not be closed, the 20-somethings seemed to be much, much, much less affected than, and also children, much less affected than older people or people with comorbidities.
Yeah, but there were also the young men who ended up with, I believe in their 30s, who ended up with heart problems that was unforeseen and unexplained.
If I could talk to her for just a minute, I'm one of those fun long COVID people that was severely affected neurologically. Between 2022 and the beginning of 2025, I don't really remember anything. It was sort of like a waking dream. So yeah, no, COVID sort of hit everyone across the board, but it was definitely older people who were the only ones in fear of, dying to it.
Did you try cod liver oil?
I didn't die that specifically.
Okay, let's.
But maybe the flu epidemic when this was written, was that targeting the young people more than the old people?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
So it is
Yes,
accurate
yes.
in that case.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
The lyrics for this song sound an awful lot like what Daniel Cohen writes about bosses and rich people and
Yeah,
people
the emperors,
who wants to live.
right?
All right. Kaisers, Renherscher.
Okay.
War a schreckliche Mageife geht von Land zu Land mit der Schnellkeit von a Streife von a Feuerbrand.
Machtlos ist der Menschen Sinnen, es bleibt die Chochme still. Es ist kein Mittel zu gewinnen, gegen a Bazil.
Mikroben, Bazillen, was willt ihr? Sagt wem es
I forgot to do something, so I don't know why it went back. Just a moment.
Mina, do you want me to play it as a slideshow?
Yeah, I played it before as a slideshow. I don't know what happened. Oh, here.
There you go.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I played it before as a slideshow.
War a schreckliche Mageife geht von Land zu Land mit der Schnellkeit von a Streife von a Feuerbrand.
Machtlos ist der Menschen Sinnen, es bleibt die Chochme still. Es ist kein Mittel zu gewinnen, gegen a Bazil.
Mikroben, Bazillen, was willt ihr? Sagt wem es Schliches der fehlt ihr? Ihr fresst die Korbones, Gorona Rachmones, in bliende Leben, nur zielt ihr.
Ihr bohrt sich in Tränen von Weiner. Ihr zieht euch dem Mark von die Beine. Ihr samt die Gederim, ihr kriechende Werim, Mikroben, Bazillen, was willt ihr?
In die Lungen tief vergraben, heim die Blase fest. Die Bazillen, die Mikroben, heuen sehr nest. Fressen unser Leib und Leib, fruchtbaren sich weg. Und wir müssen selbst verschweben, vor der Zeit weg.
Und wir fühlen, wie wir gehen still und langsam aus. Und die Schmerzen und die Wehen sind schrecklich groß. Und die finstere Machschoves pressen dem Schmerz. Joren liegt der Malcham, ob es tief bei uns im Haus. Mikroben, Bazillen,
Was willt ihr? Sagt wem es Schliches der fehlt ihr?
ihr fresst die Korbones, Gorona Rachmones, in liehende Leben, nur zielt ihr. Ihr bohrt sich in Tränen von Weinen. Ihr zieht euch dem Mark von die Beine. Ihr samt die Gederim, ihr kriechende Werim, Mikroben, Bazillen, will gehen. Sind da Vampiren zu leben kurz. Unser Pratze sei Rabieren, trinken unser Blut.
Und verschlafen in die Sumpen unser Heuk im Kopf. Eure niedrige Lumpen, euch halt kein Sach ob.
Unsere Krippelte und heute fallen da und dort. Neue Lebensangegräte, viel Neues der Ort. In große Tiefe Choren atmen leiches viel. Und die Herrscher, die kein Sorgen spielen, Schachmattspiel. Mikrobazil, was will die?
Sagt, wenn es Schliches der Filti.
Frisst die Korbonis, Corona Rachmonis, in blinde Leben Lazilke. Bohrt sich in Tränen von Weine, zieht euch dem Mark von die Beine. Sandige Deirim, kriechende Weirim, Mikroben, Bazillen, was will dir? Mikroben, Bazillen, was will dir? Sagt, wenn es Schädliches mehr viel dir. Fresst die Korbones, Corona, Rachmones, in blühende Leben, Lord Silke.
Okay, that was powerful.
I thought I knew Yiddish, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yes, I see Rochelle.
That expression, the Tziasne de Barach from the Beina, is very familiar to me. It was one my mother used all the time. Nice thing to say to a little girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Bob.
Yeah, actually, the song is terrific, and if you don't know Yiddish, it's perfect. It really is a great tune, and it's very similar to a lot of the music written in the 20s in Germany. You know, Kurt Weill, even Schoenberg was writing that kind of music back to make a few bucks in the early days. So, yeah, it's really delightful. Until.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, yes.
So you know what it means.
Yeah,
Certainly we're hoping that Maurice, uses a little bit of his positive personality next time.
Well, like I say, we can't do Shine Vidi Levuna every week.
Video.
Well, we go.
Yeah, exactly. Vinkl and then Morty. Vinkl.
So yeah, the word Gedarim. No, I'm glad that you told us it means intestines or guts or innards like that, because I know I've heard that word as limbs or other thing. I think it's the same word, but can we use it like kishkis as well? Does it have that?
Yeah. Guts. I used to think of guts.
Yeah.
So like if you is it the thing that people eat too when people eat the derma? Is it that? No.
Yeah.
I've heard of stuffed kishkis, but I've never heard of stuffed gederim. I don't know.
Stuffed kishkis. It may be the gederim.
There's a formula with gematria, and I know you're all going to say I'm overreading it, but for numbering the mitzvahs, the 248 mitzvahs, they say the positive ones are the number of gederim, the number of organs. It's sometimes translated as organs. There's the positive and the negative mitzvot. So, the grand total is. So that's where I first learned that word gederim. But to think that it's the intestines, that's really powerful. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Morty?
Yeah, just as at the risk of something repetitive, I think that the real attraction of this song is the melody. It sounds very much, if you forget about the lyrics, if you just think of the melody, it sounds like a nice folk song, very quiet, very romantic, even.
But I don't think that in 1916 people could just forget about the lyrics.
Well, but still, you know, a songwriter could probably.
Okay.
He wanted to make some money out of it, and he found a wonderful melody to
Well,
go
and it
with the
also
words.
makes the lyrics more, I don't want to say palatable because poignant. Speaking of Kishkas.
Well, it's almost sarcastic in a way. I mean, you have this lilting, delightful, kind of loving melody with these very, very, I don't know, tough lyrics.
Dark. Not good.
I'll
Very
bet that
dark.
melody, I'll bet there's another song with that same melody where we learned it from. I'd be interested in finding what that other song is with that same melody.
That's something I was actually curious about. You know, my background tends to be American Southern music, where melodies gets shared back and forth until they become unrecognizable. I'm simply not sure. Is it common for in Yiddish folk music to reuse the same melodies for a bunch of different songs?
Sure.
I figured, just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. Okay. It was delightful, Maurice. It was different,
Good.
really nice. Really. Okay. Now,
Nicht du gedacht.
yeah. Yes, before we move to the story, I see that Marsha raised the hand.
And what does Nishtugadak mean? It shouldn't be
It
thought
shouldn't
of.
happen.
Not even.
I
No,
just,
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It actually.
Entschuldig
it
mir,
should not
I raised
even
my
be-
hand.
Why-
I raised my
why-
hand. And I just wanted to say that it's not only the Jewish songwriters that plagiarize. Plagiarism is the people that write the music. They even plagiarize themselves. Sometimes they write something in the 30s and then they're still around in the 50s and they use the same song. They may change the tempo or do something different, but that's the way music is. Once you write something, you keep using it over and over. That's all I wanted to say. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Beverly?
Can I ask Maurice?
Beverly, you're
Sure, that's okay. Marie, you could talk.
Okay, Marie.
Maurice, what was the two words you said and how did you translate it? Steuben, what was it?
Nicht du gedacht.
Nicht du gedacht.
I wanted to translate
I
it.
want to hear what Maurice was trying to say.
Go ahead.
The way my parents used it, it meant, may it not happen here. It should not happen here.
Yes,
Nicht du gedacht.
that's it. That's it. לא עליכם.
Here.
Yeah. Okay, Cookie, now you.
I'm sorry.
Nishtugadak means it shouldn't even be thought of here. Not that
Okay, it shouldn't be thought of here.
Gedacht.
Okay, fine.
It shouldn't even be thought of here. We
Got
were
it.
put
I got
words
it.
in the air.
Shouldn't be thought of. Okay.
Right. That's what it means.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay, let's move to the story. Remember, it's a household where the husband likes the traditional things. He likes his books. He likes the picture of the family, dead and living, whatever. He likes the picture. He likes it as it is. The woman, she wants, out with the old and in with the new. She wants to have everything like new, shiny, like everyone else.
The Lady's Home Journal.
Exactly. And that's, the conflict between both of them. So nothing much happens in the story, but it's kind of, it's like a picture. You look at it like a tableau.
Slice of life.
Yeah. So, and we finished on page 97 where she took out the credenza with the books, and instead she put something with all kinds of tchotchkes, and is getting really, really angry with it. So that's where we stopped. So now let's do where we are here. Well, what happened here? Just a moment. Okay, so you see it, I'll just go to where I have to be, 97, and we stopped, ich mach nicht kein Seder. You see it?
Yeah.
Ich mach nicht kein Seder.
Where is your, I'm looking for your cursor.
Here. Just here, in the blue. You see the blue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Susan, can you start reading? Ich mach nicht kein Seder.
Oh, ich mach nicht kein Seder. Ich darf nicht die gläserne...
No.
No.
No. Hat Mr. Kasha ibegechazet.
I'm not gonna make a Seder. I don't like those
No, Susan, no, we are in the wrong place. It's on the top of the page.
Oh, where? Oh.
97 if you have the paper.
97. It's
but I
on the line number 10.
Where?
Oh, okay.
Mach nicht kein Seder, hat Mr. Kasher übergehazet.
It's the third dash down the page.
Yeah. You don't see it?
Wait.
Viva.
Yes.
Oh, when you have a minute.
Ich mach nicht kein Seder. Do you see it? It's in blue.
Oh, okay. Hot Mr. Kasher? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ich mach nicht kein Seder. I'm not going to make a Seder. Hot Mr. Kasher übergehazet, repeated Mr. Kasher.
I'm going crazy.
It's two of the same, that's why. Und hat gefühlt, als Itzter hat die Eberhang über sein Weib. And he felt like now he was ahead of his wife. Und über ihr funny, and he was over her remark funny. Wie ein Mensch, was der fehlt die Süßkeit von Nehmen. Ne komme hat gesucht zu Helenen. And like a person who feels the sweetness of taking vengeance.
Revenge.
What?
Revenge.
Taking revenge, okay. He said to Helen, du meinst, als zu lieb die gläserne Schmattes, you mean that because of those glass schmattes, hat Moshe Rabbeinu herausgenommen die Jiden von Mitzrayim. Do you believe that because of those glass schmatas, that was why Moshe, our father, took the Jews out of Egypt, gespalten vor sie dem Yam, and he divided the sea for them? Du meinst, wenig Menschen haben sich ertrunken? You mean that fewer people were drowned? Umsist hat sie geführt zum Berg. For nothing, he took them to the mountain, Berg Sinai, to the Sinai mountain, mit Donnern und mit Blitzen, with thunder and lightning. 40 Tage nicht gegessen und nicht getrunken, 40 days, nothing to eat and nothing to drink. 40 Jahre sich herumgewalgert, 40 years wandering around mit pitzlich Kinder, with little tiny kids in their midbar, in the Zamden, in the desert, in the sands. unbroit und ungornet, without bread and without anything. Unhektischen, no poorhouses.
No, Ekdischen are scorpions.
What is it?
Scorpions. A scorpion.
Scorpion.
Spider.
No,
Oh.
no spider, a scorpion.
Scorpion. Scorpion.
Yeah, scorpion.
So what is a poorhouse, a hektish?
Also an Ekdish.
Oh, okay. Oh, so without any, without.
No, with scorpions und wilde Chayes.
With scorpions. Scorpions und wilde Chayes and wild animals und Leiben and lions. Meinst us to leave the glazed Getchkas, do you believe that because of those glass idols, hat dus getun? Is that why he did it?
Okay, so Susan, just stop for a moment because people raise their hands. So Morty and then Elaine. Morty?
Yeah.
And I see you too.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, to me at least, in this case, minds really means, do you think?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Right.
You're right. Elaine and then Marie.
Yeah,
Elaine.
the word schmatus
Mm-hmm.
for things.
Instead of
Schmatus always, is schmatus, is cloth. Glass.
No,
schmatus.
Is rags.
Rags, but my parents used to say schmattes also for things.
Yeah, well,
And yeah.
schmatus, so glass, okay. Because the way I understand schmatus, you can't have glass schmatus.
Right.
No.
Technically,
Okay.
schmatas are rags, but he's using it as an insulting term. These useless things.
Useless things, right. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, back to Morty. I see you raised his hand again.
In my family, schmattes was used also as something worthless.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Ashmate. Exactly. Okay, Marie.
So I just want to point out, I've seen this before, but do you notice Donner and Blitzen?
Yes, I saw that also.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Reindeer.
It's
Yeah.
German words.
Yes. Okay.
Nevada.
Yeah. Cookie.
We also use schmata. I would say even if I had a new dress, you like my new schmata? Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes
It's
we use
ironic.
it
Sure.
in a nice term, yeah.
You know,
And
Marie.
when I went to work, I worked in the schmata district.
Right.
That's what they called the garment. The garment district was called the schmata district.
Yeah. Maurice?
Mariv, I saw that documentary, The 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston, and I didn't see Donner and Blitzen on Mount Sinai.
No, but did you see the watch on his hand?
The what?
A watch. I'm not kidding. There is a watch on his hand. They didn't pay attention, and there is
Amazing.
a watch.
That Moshe Rabbeinu, he was ahead of his time.
Exactly. They didn't.
That's so funny. They put pun in that remark, ahead of his time.
Yeah, no pun intended. Yeah, I wonder if the guy who wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer knew Yiddish.
You're certainly
He was
Jewish.
Jewish. He was Jewish.
Maybe it's Germanic.
But it's also German.
Oh, okay. But he was Jewish. He was Jewish, so he probably would have gotten it from,
I'm sure he was thinking of Mount Sinai.
Or maybe just under enlightenment.
Writing a Christmas song, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so Susan, go on. From the tiefste.
Oh. Which one?
Von die tiefste Definition.
Die tiefste Definition hat bei Mr. Kasher herausgeschlagen a Qual von Bänkschaften. From the deep depths, Mr. Kasher brought out a wave of nostalgia. Und von Verdrossen and from annoyance, from nostalgia
and from being annoyed. Und Wörter, was hat schon sehr Jahren lang nicht gehört, and words that for many long years he had not heard. Und hat keinmal nicht getracht wegen sie, and he never thought about them. Seinen zu ihm itzter gekommen. That these words came to him now mit Gringkeit, with freshness, often
Easily. Easily.
Easily, yes.
Ease.
Gring, mit Gringkeit, with easiness, often Sinnen in their meaning und auf their for their meaning and of their tongue, and they came out well just on his tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, what does it? Zinn doesn't mean that. What does
Zinn and mind.
Right.
In the mind, yes.
Which one is mind?
Zinnen. Okay. Thank you, Susan. Morty, yes?
Yes, I just wanted to say, I understand verdrossen, not as sadness or something like that. I think it's anger.
Verdrossen is to be embarrassed.
No, it could also be resentment, anger, resentment. Yeah.
Less than anger, like annoyance.
Yeah,
I think it's
resentment more than annoyance. I think it's a strong feeling that annoyance means something is bothering you, but anger means something very strong, and I think it comes out of Deirim.
Yeah. But the rest is when you're insulted also.
Sometimes you say, ich nehm nicht kein Verdruss. If you say something, you'll say,
it has more than one meaning.
Yeah.
Right, definitely.
And the other thing is that the last couple of lines are very, very clear and very real, because many times when you're angry or you have a strong feeling for something, words come out from your mind that you maybe have never used for a long time.
Right.
And you shouldn't have used in the
right.
Well, sometimes you're happy that you used them.
Yeah,
often ling is often sing. That's no good.
Yeah. Bob, I know that those 3 lines, I didn't give it to you, but can you combine them? Bob. Where are you? Bob, you're muted. You're muted. We don't hear you.
Malchames hat man geführt und Menschen seinen gefallen und von a Stein hat man herausgeschlagen Wasser. And men and one manages a war, or
no, and wars were conducted.
Okay, and wars were conducted, and men were dejected.
No, gefallen, it's died.
People fell.
Died.
People died. It means died. People died. Fallen.
From a stein, from a stone. Man drew water.
No, water was spraying out.
Right, water was drawn. Meinst du als zu lieb zu gelesene Getschke hat das getan? Let's see here. Do you think that because God did all this, or why do you think God has done all this, or
no? Do you think it was done for
those
your
trinkets
glass
in the
schmattes?
bookcase?
Yeah. So, do you think because of the glass trinket?
And the glass cabinet, the glass bookcase of
the tchotchkes in the glass
cabinet, not the cabinet, but the good password.
Yeah.
Helen is gestanden, der Schwackener. Helen stood frightened. zum ersten Mal in ihr Leben, for the first time in her life, hat sie der fehlt als Pesach is a Grozama Yom Tov. For the first time in her life, she felt that Pesach was a cruel holiday. Moire dicker, a heliker, was a filu by ihr in living room, Tormen von ihm a hor nit menan. A fearful or formidable, sacred, even a holiday that even in her living room, one can't diminish it. Sie hat sich gefühlt schuldig. She felt guilty, tief verschuldigt, deeply wrong, was sie hat angerührt dem Yom Tov Pesach, that she violated the holiday Pesach. Und wie ständig, and as always, wenn sie fühlt sich schuldig, hat sie gesagt zum Mann. And always when she felt guilty, she said to her husband, bist gerecht, you're correct. Archie. Archie. Archie, it kind of reminds me of All in the Family. Bist correct. Yeah, you're correct. Morgen, believe me, tomorrow. Morgen, tomorrow. Will ich zurück Aruf bringen die Sepharim von Keller. I'll bring up the sacred books or the prayer books from the cellar. Aber jetzt, but for now, mach dem Seder, make the Seder. Sylvia wird kommen mit Julgen, morgen West sein. Tomorrow, you'll see. Tomorrow, morgen.
Okay, so Sylvia with the man and Julke is probably
Sylvia and Gerstin will be here, yes, soon.
Yeah, it's probably the daughter with the Herman and the Einikl probably.
And I want to thank you for choosing such a simple paragraph to read. Thank you.
You did a good job.
It was good, Bob. And the more you practice, the more you read, the more you will know. So, okay, Morty, please.
Zum Seder hat Sylvie gebracht Wein. Sylvie brought wine to the Seder. Und Julke hat gefragt die Kashes. And Julke asked the questions. Wegen der neuen gläserner Schafke, regarding the new glass cabinet, hat Helen nicht ermahnt. Helen didn't remind them of it. Und sie hat a Wunsch getun zu Sylvian, sie soll nicht fragen. And she winked to Sylvian so that the other one would not ask. Die Schafke ist gestanden wie a Stück avoid the zera. The cabinet stood there as a bit of idolatry. Was men guckt auf den nicht, that you don't look at it, aber es ist a shot zu zerbrechen. It's a shot, how do you translate shot?
A shame.
Yeah. It's a shame to break it. A purmo hat Mr. Kasher der Mann wegen des Forum. A couple of times Mr. Kasher reminded them of the holy books, was men darf sie zurück bringen in a wegstellen of their Ort, that they have to be brought back and placed in their own place. Helen hat geschwiegen. Helen did not utter a word. Mehr kein Zuzug nicht gemacht. more about this wasn't talked about.
No, promise.
Einmal so getin unter der Nose. And once said very quietly or under the nose, the literal translation. Funny, bei allem stehen gläserne Schafkes. Everywhere, at everybody's place, there are glass cabinets. Warum soll bei uns nicht stehen? Why shouldn't it stay among us or for us? Funny, hat Mr. Kasher übergehasert. Funny, reminded Mr. Kasher. Das Wort wie Basikter. He reminded this. He remembered this word like Basiger.
Basikter is one who is defeated.
Okay. Das Wort, was is starker von ihm, the word that is stronger than he is, in kann es nicht beikommen, and he cannot get over it. Die Vögel auf die Wand haben geschwiegen. The birds on the wall were quiet. Wie streng Wächter, was hitten there are Beurung. Like strong guards that watch over their
I
place.
found that it's a conquest.
Conquest. Okay. Conquest.
Okay, thank you. Any comments on the story? Any questions?
Good story.
Good story. Very good story.
What does that last word mean, that othering?
Conquest.
Conquest. Oh, I really need that in daily conversation.
Okay, I cannot see how, but yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a very final he lost.
Yeah, of course he lost. Okay, Morty, yes.
Yes, I think that there is an unsaid ending here, and it is that about morgen, next day. I think that she was hoping that by next day, her husband would have forgotten about this forum and would let her keep the glass cabinet with the tchotchkes there.
Yeah.
It's called passive aggressive.
Oh, gee. Like they said in 1947.
Exactly. Okay, so we finished this story. Next story is this one, Crocodile. So the writer, Chernin, it was sent to me some months ago by Asya, and she thought it's, it's an interesting thing, and after I read it a couple of times, it's kind of hilarious, really. It's, we will read it and we will get to it. Chernin himself was born in the Soviet Union, and he emigrated to Israel, and he is now working at Bar-Ilan University, and he's writing in Yiddish. He's writing stories and essays and lecturing in Yiddish. So we have a bit of time. Let's start and get the feeling of, there are a lot of Spanish things, but that's Morty here. Not so much of, I thought there will be more Russian, but not. What we have there is Spanish. So let's start it. Michael, can you start it? Michael Fisman?
What is his last name? How do you write that in English?
Chernin. Just a moment.
Chernin.
Chernin. Velvel Chernin.
Okay.
Michael Fisman, can you start?
Sorry.
Okay.
Es ist nicht keine eindeutige Tshuva auf der Scheile. Was ist mein Mama Loschen? There is no single, I'm not sure eindeutig, but I assume single answer to the question, what is my mother tongue?
Yeah.
Es ist auf jeden Fall nicht kein Scheile, not akasha. It's not even a religious question. It's just a question. I think that's right, a shaila as opposed to akasha.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Gewöhnlich sage ich, generally I say, as my mama Loshen is Yiddish, generally I say that my mother tongue is Yiddish, but then what else? Wie kann es sein, anders? How can it be otherwise different? Not the problem besteht in dem, but the problem consists of this. As mit mein Mammen Aleha Sholem, habe ich geredet nicht Yiddish, but the problem exists in this, that with my mother, may she rest in peace, I never spoke Yiddish, nor meistens Ukrainisch, but mostly Ukrainian. Auf Yiddish habe ich geredet mit die Seire Boben, auf Yiddish. In Yiddish, I spoke to grandpa, grandma. In Schule habe ich sich gelernt auf Russisch. And at school I learned Russian. Und die drei Lashonas kenne ich mehr oder weniger von Kindheit on. These three languages I know more or less from childhood onwards. Und Loshen Kodesh habe ich angefangen zu lernen in der Alter von 16 Jahren. And the holy language Hebrew I started to learn at the age of 16 in an umlegalen Ulpan in Moscow, in an illegal Ulpan in Moscow. Weiter?
Weiter.
Okay, three languages showing upgerät wegen fear, not to even, let's upgerät, it's spoken about. So there's an addition of 4. Das ist etwas, that is something, Kocha vada nicht alle shivim loschen. That is something, although it's definitely not all the languages of the world, or 70 languages, however you want it, was jedes von sie ist auf sein Öfen prächtig und reich. And each of them is in its own way beautiful and rich. What lo sagen Spanish? Let's talk about Spanish. Die Sprache von Cervantes, the language of Cervantes, welcher der möglich verstehen ganz nicht schlecht Sfardische romances, which allows one to understand not too badly the Sephardic romances, love stories, of Avraham Avinu, and I assume this is Ladino, but Avraham Avinu, Padre querido, Padre bendito, luz de Israel.
I think that's all Spanish.
It's Spanish, all Spanish, and there is a translation at the end. So, Avraham Avinu, Tate Liber, Tate Gebenster, die Licht von Israel.
Okay. Oder Orla to Huerta Yo Pasi again.
Okay, and so at the end of there is Ich bin Farbe Geigen Leben dein Tier. It's Ladino. It says Ladino, not Spanish.
This is a song.
It's a song, Susan?
Yes. Avraham Avinu, Padre querido, Padre bendito, luz de Israel. Avraham Avinu, then you sing it over again. I've heard it.
So is that actually a Ladino song?
It's a Ladino song. Thank you. Okay.
Mina.
Oder Tio Porti me muero yo again.
And it says, weil ich starb noch dir.
Okay.
Yoram Gaon sings Avraham Avinu.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he does. Beautiful.
Noch etwas als uns, or something like that. Es ist mamash an Oitzer, it's really a treasure, a tesoro. I'm not sure whether
Tesoro is an oitzer.
it's a treasure, wie man sagt auf Ladino, as they say in Ladino. Und was war Tesoro von Siedlereien vermochten Spanish? And what a treasury of swear words Spanish has. Safar Ganigan, it's pleasure. The favorite time Gan Eden, it's really the taste of paradise. Als ich wäre in Kass, if I get angry, siedel ich es oftmals auf Spanish. I often swear in Spanish. Oder die Siedlereien seien so tiefer rein in mein Wesen. These swear words are so deeply ingrained in my being. Als ich darf sich hitten beim Reden auf Spanisch mit Freunden, that when I speak to women, I have to I have to guard myself. Mila was, but in any case.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Michael. Maurice, yes, you wanted to say something.
I was just curious. Do you know whether he left the Soviet Union around the same time as Gennady Estreich and Boris Sandler? There was that wave of emigration.
Probably. I don't know exactly when he left, but
Okay.
I guess that probably at the same time.
All right.
So we will stop here because we have just another. So it was just a little introduction to what we are going to.
What is malevus? The very last two words.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who
Yeah.
cares? Oh,
Who
okay.
cares? Yeah.
It's an expression.
Yeah.
Go figure on.
Go figure, yeah, something like this. So we will continue and see what the Spanish, how we use the Spanish later on, how we use the Spanish. And it's quite hilarious. It's really quite hilarious. So, okay. Any comments about the one that we read before? Or just in general, if you want to say something to... No?
I had a comment.
Yes. Okay, Barbara.
No,
I
think, you know what, I was kind of wondering, as I was seeing how this played out, if she had in her mind this core of the piece where he, Mr. Casher, is confronting his wife and saying, what do you think that Moses took us out of Egypt to do this and this so that you could have these tchotchkes? And I'm kind of wondering if, she was reacting to what she was seeing occurring in life in the United States. And I think it was a criticism, frankly. But to me, maybe that came to her first and she built the story around that core. So that was the thought I had. I just wanted to share it. So
I thought it was a great line from the husband, like
it was hilarious.
Moses went through, the Jews went through all this, and now we're here, and you're collecting tchotchkes. I mean, is this what life is all about? Freedom.
Yeah, but it's a message. Really,
it's deep. Yeah, it's like, what's the point?
Now I want to ask you, in whose house were such a glass
house?
I think in most, most houses.
Yeah,
my house.
Yeah,
my house.
I still have my mother's glass cabinet. It's 3 pieces and it's got books. And I mean, where would I keep my tchotchkes? I don't know.
It's very interesting. My parents had a big, what do you call it? A break front.
Right.
Everybody knows what a break front is.
Right.
And my mother really prided herself on the fact that her break front was all filled with books, not with tchotchkes.
Oh, lovely.
Not with tchotchkes. It was all filled. She had a whole set of great, Dickens and, great novels. And then she had an encyclopedia that ended in 1939, which my brother now has, because he used to read it as a kid. It was very, so when my parents passed away, he took those books.
Yeah. I have my mother's. Yeah, it's just a treasure, and we still. I'll refer to it to my brother as Mom's wall unit.
I want to say
Henrietta, let's Henrietta.
Yes. The first generation of Americans, from my viewpoint, wanted to learn English or Yiddish. My father and mother had bookcases full of all the fine books translated into Yiddish. Jules Verne, Charles Dickens, and so forth. And they read them in Yiddish. And then they got to English. So bookcases, china cabinets, all were filled with books because that generation wanted to learn to be American, to read Yiddish, to read English. And the books were all translated into all those languages.
Okay, thank you.
We don't have those bookcases anymore.
Lost mine and
Kids have
Harvey.
taken over the whole room.
Right.
Yeah.
All around.
But the kids today don't want any of the old things. They don't have the feeling for the generations, I don't think.
You're
so
right.
Yeah, but the
They can get everything on the computer.
Right. They don't want tchotchkes. I don't know. It's hard to give things away now to them, I think.
I hear that is somewhat changing, but that has more to do with like furniture and whatnot. The people my age are increasingly appreciating nice, well-built old furniture as like the new stuff becomes worse and worse, while also becoming more expensive. But yeah, in terms of like little tchotchkes and whatnot, nah, not very popular. Books, more or less.
Okay,
Well,
good to
books-
hear, Daniel.
Books you can find now on the internet, a lot of them. So that's
Yeah.
another thing, I have on my Kindle. I have on my Kindle more books that I have, and I have a large, really large library here. But on my Kindle, I have a larger library.
I always notice when I'm on these Zoom calls how many books the Jewish community has in their homes. I'm having a very hard time getting rid of them. I have 2 roomfuls that are lined with bookcases.
Right. Yeah. Okay, Elaine. Yes, you're going away. Okay, you're going away.
I've got to go away also.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Okay. So I'll see you all next week. Sei gesehen. And next week we are going to see how he is using Spanish and making fun of military people from, where is it? From Cuba. From Cuba. Okay, so
Thank you.
You know how we should receive it all, what we should say? Funny.
Funny. Okay, funny.
From
Exactly.
the Yiddish class. Funny.
Okay.
Have a funny week.
Have a nice week. See you next time. Sei mir alle gesehen.
Thank you.
Bye.